Hello and welcome. In this presentation, we want to give you an impression on recent projects with German Redo technology for drinking water disinfection and public water supply. For this, we are focusing on the Middle East and Asia, because these two regions are facing comparable water challenges and also show similar water structures in several relations. All mentioned water infrastructure projects are government projects, based on tender proceedings and long-term plannings. Therefore, depending on the status of a single project, we can name and show a project in detail, or we can only describe it in an abstract way. To start directly, behind me you can see a Redo building under construction for a large Redo water disinfection plant at a pumping station in the Middle East. But let's take a look at a video which gives a full picture of such a water infrastructure site, with the Redo plant as a main part of it.
This video shows a large water plant under construction for a newly built water reservoir. The white building complex on the left is the building for the Redo water disinfection plant. In the middle, in the background, you can partly see the large blue water reservoirs. The white building on the right shows the newly built pumping station.
Hello and greetings from Redo Oman. I want to show you one of our current flagship projects. It is called Ad Dakhiliya project and located in Oman. In this project 1300 mld of drinking water will be treated every day, or in a full number, 1,300,000,000 liters of drinking water, and this per day. The project builds up new drinking water infrastructure on 7 sites along a 180 kilometers new water pipeline. The large white building you can see behind me is the building for the Redo water disinfection plant at one of the 7 sites. Overall, 7 of such large Redo water disinfection plants are built up on each of the 7 sites of this project. Now here we are standing beside the building for the Redo water disinfection plant at the new waterwork of the Ad Dakhiliya project. The construction works are on the edge of getting ready. Corona has caused long delays. The Redo building is around 8 meters high. The big openings you can see, which look like windows, are needed to install the large tanks for the salt saturators and the storage tanks for the Redo disinfectant. So, let's take a look inside, where the preparations for the Redo plant installation have just begun. The technical equipment starts getting delivered to the site. Plant design and project planning happened over the last 2 years and got finally approved by the technical consultant. Due to safety regulations on this site, the Redo installation team on this picture is wearing vests from Larsen & Toubro, who is the contractor for the Ad Dakhiliya water project. On our journey to the next project sites, we are now making a short stop and we visit the Redo Production Center in Oman. Hello to my colleagues from this international and multicultural team. All Redo units for projects in the Middle East are getting assembled at this production center. On the picture you can see several Redo units, which are in the process of getting manufactured. Redo units are a central part of a large disinfection plant. But the whole plant design consists of more than the unit. It is finally an electrochemical production plant, including brine management, measuring and control and transport of different fluids in several processes. Now we are jumping to another of the 7 project sites from the Ad Dakhiliya project. Here you can see the newly built water reservoirs for this large water infrastructure project. A water reservoir stores water for fluctuating water demand in a bigger network. To secure water safety in a huge network like this, over nearly 200 kilometers, ranging from the waterwork over several pumping stations and water reservoirs up to the last tap from the consumers, the water must get disinfected several times on its way and the residual must be managed over the whole system. The Redo building and Redo plant at this water reservoir looks nearly the same like in the waterwork, which I have just shown you before. At this site, Redo technology secures that the water from the reservoir on its further way to the consumers remains clean and safe and that no waterborne diseases can spread over the public water network. Now this is the third and last site which I want to show you today, from the overall 7 sites of this project. As you can see, we traveled from the desert to hilly areas to reach this site. Here a new pumping station is built, including again a smaller water reservoir. The picture shows the redo building for drinking water disinfection at this new pumping station. The whole site is under construction. Also, the works on the new water pipeline are not fully finalized yet. Here our journey ends for today. I hope I could give you a good impression on the Ad Dakhiliya project in Oman. It is an exciting water project and it belongs to the biggest water projects in the Middle East. Goodbye for today and from my side.
Salam alaikum from Muscat. Another interesting redo project, which is currently in realization, is the Al Hamra project. Here the state-owned Oman Water and Wastewater Services Company is implementing a project to construct water distribution networks in the Wilayat of Al Hamra. This project provides safe and sustainable water to all residents of 82 townships. The picture behind me gives an impression of this water network, which includes 22 pumping stations. All these 22 pumping stations are getting supplied with redo water disinfection. So now and before I show you a short overview on further projects in the Middle East, I would like to give you an insight on the development of redo projects in this region. The first redo projects in the Middle East started around 13 years ago in Oman. With every new project in Oman, the track record and customer satisfaction grew. Today and after 13 years, redo can show the long-term proof of its technology. And this is of high relevance for a public utility. Because a technology must work, and it must work on the long run. So based on this progress over more than a decade, a lot of new projects could be developed in public water supply in the Middle East and the GCC states. Let me give you a short overview on further main recent projects. One important redo project, which is currently under development, comprises 10 large redo plants for overall 10 single projects, with a capacity of 1400 mld of water to be disinfected every day. This project includes the rehabilitation of existing water infrastructure, where chlorine gas gets replaced with redo technology, as well as the supply of newly built water plants with a modern water disinfection. Another exciting redo project under development is designed to replace chlorine gas at all existing waterworks and pumping stations from a whole country. This project is based on a PPP model. It aims to replace chlorine gas completely in public water supply in this country. There are more redo projects under development in public water supply in the Middle East. Like in other projects, these projects comprise either the rehabilitation of existing chlorine gas plants through modern redo plants, or the supply of redo plants for newly built water infrastructure like waterworks, pumping stations, or water reservoirs.
Namaste from Pune in India. We are now switching from the Middle East to Asia. To describe the water challenges in Asia in a short version, I would choose the following bullet points. Many people and water scarcity. Large and permanently growing cities. Missing or often old water infrastructure. Operations and maintenance have large potentials for improvement. Rural areas need decentralized concepts. Safe drinking water from the tap is widely not available. Due to this situation and the demand for advanced solutions in water disinfection, we started building up redo technology in Asia. Beside Vietnam, one of our focus countries is India. So let me give you a short summary on redo projects in public water supply, which are currently under development in this region. The projects range from 50 mld to 2000 mld. They cover mainly the supply of waterworks and pumping stations. The projects are designed as EPC projects or PPP projects. PPP means public-private partnerships. Especially for rural areas, we created several decentralized concepts for drinking water disinfection. These concepts can be adjusted to the local structures in villages. They range from mobile water disinfection services as a full services concept to supply structures on the household level. One example for such a rural area project in realization is the Melghat project in India. In this project, the first cluster of 250,000 tribal people is supplied with redo water disinfection on the household level. The concept is designed for further upscaling. This project, like all other redo projects, has a double impact. It secures safe drinking water and at the same time contributes to the reduction of carbon dioxide emissions. Because people, who cannot trust their water, will boil it to disinfect it. Boiling water consumes large amounts of fossil fuels or firewood. Now and at the end of this presentation, I want to show you how a bigger redo plant in public water supply works. The process is always the same, no matter if the plant treats 10 mld or 1000 mld of water. The picture behind me shows a visualized redo plant for a bigger project. On the first floor you can see the large brine tanks and the redo units. The redo units produce the disinfectant out of the brine. On the ground floor you can see the large redo tanks, which store the produced disinfectant before it is dosed into the water. On the second floor you can see the salt storage area. This is a simplified picture. It does not show the whole technical design of such a large redo plant. We hope with this presentation, we could give you an impression and basic understanding of recent redo projects in public water supply in the Middle East and Asia. Thank you for your attention.